Yan. Hello dyan, mga kameta. Kamusta kayo dyan? Ayan. Here we are. Marami naman tayo pag-usapan. Just when I was about to talk about, again, balikan natin si Robin P. at Richard G. At pag-usapan natin itong parang railroad, no? Nabulol tuloy tayo. No, railroad na, railroad na Chacha. No, I mean this is quite a big worry for a lot of people, including Senate President Zubiri. So kanina mukhang may interview siya with Karen Davila kung saan he was really genuinely worried about itong parang ito talagang pinipilit na talaga itong issue ng charter change, and not only that, parang gusto ng iba dyan na constitutional or constituent assembly ang gagawin. So yung mga alam mo naman, yung dynasty-dominated kongreso mismo ang gusto mag-oversee ng process ng constitutional change to end dynastic trap of politics. Parang ano yun, di ba? At katulad ng sinabi ni Zubiri, Senate President Zubiri, the numbers are not there, guys. Kailangan mo ng, you have to have at least 2/3 of the Senate there. So what, you're looking at what, 18 people or something like that, or 3/4? You need a lot. You need more than a majority. You need a super majority of Senate to say yes for this to happen. Last time I checked, sino ba? Si Bato lang, si Robin Hood, sino pa ba yung mga gusto mag charter change. At maraming mga senador diyan nag-worry sila na ang mangyayari diyan sa charter change na yan, biglang mawala sila sa eksena, di ba? And ma-reset, no? And ma-reset in ways that favors the more numerically superior lower house of the Congress. So this is quite a worrying situation, mga kameta, because again, we're not against change, but we're against bara change. We're against supposed change, supposed solution that makes the problem worse. We are against supposed solutions that are not based on proper diagnosis of the actual problem that we face in the country. If trapo politics is our problem, then I'm not sure you want a trapo driven process of changing the constitution per se. No, that's why not talk about constitutional convention or CONCON? Or why not, katulad ng sinasabi ni Zubiri, katulad ng sinasabi ng iba't ibang business groups, let's just work with what we got by passing new legislations to make the Philippines more competitive and open to investment. And yung mga katulad natin, mga kameta, na nakausap yung mga top investors around the world, I mean, alam niyo naman mga kausap natin, di ba, mga kameta, yung mga level, no, hindi naman. No, but seriously, guys, their concerns are utility costs. Ang mahal ng electricity, ang mahal lang ng water. Siyempre, yung oligarchic economy natin. Now, you not clear kung charter change would necessarily end some of these problems. Yung problem with rule of law. Of course, wala tayong rule of law. Ang daming corruption sa Pilipinas dahil alam natin, trapo-dominated politics tayo. So ito po yung mga concerns natin. So these are serious things that we have to talk about. And katulad ng sinabi ni Senate President Zubiri, maybe let's first make sure that yung implementing rules and regulation ng mga batas na napasa the other year lang, no? Ito yung mga relevant sa investments sa public utilities, etc. Yun, ayusin natin yan, di ba? Ayusin natin yan, implement natin yan bago natin pag-usapan kung kailangan talaga ng charter change. Yun ang point ni Zubiri. So nung nakita ko si Senate President Zubiri, medyo nag-worry na, di tayo rin parang wait lang, ano ba talaga nangyayari dyan na parang pinipilit ito? They just don't have the numbers. It's not gonna happen under current conditions. So what are they gonna try to do? No? And sabi nga ng ibang business groups, what they want is clean government. What they want is, not being distracted from the necessity to implement what we already have. Isang malaking problema natin, mga kameta, is hindi natin na-implement yung batas na meron tayo. So why the need to reinvent the wheel when the wheel that you already have is not being properly used or properly inflated, so on and so forth. Anyway, yun yung context. Gusto natin pag-usapan yan, and then suddenly, ito na naman tayo. Ito na naman yung mga rabid, yung mga trolls natin dyan. Yun nga yung pinag-usapan. So, ayan, inaasar-asar na naman tayo. Ako naman, game naman ako eh. I mean, you know me, guys. Walang pikonan sa atin. Ang napipikon yung mga di ba? Ako naman, I always welcome. In fact, yeah, I'm very proud. Nag-debut na tayo based on at least our preliminary reading dito sa si T. Calvo, diba? Ito kay cartoons ni T. Calvo, mukhang pinakamyo tayo dyan. At yung mga hater natin dyan online nagsishare. But, I feel privileged. Thank you so much. Of course, among all the privileges that we have had throughout the years, meeting and interviewing prime ministers, talking to the most decorated people in world politics and world journalism, and, being interviewed by the best of the best out there. Of course, now we have this distinction of also having a cameo dito sa mga comics ni si TK, si TK, no. Thank you very much, bossing. Maraming salamat. Kaso parang payat na payat natin dyan sa sarili natin cartoons, ah. Pinayat din ako, ah. Kaso parang kamukha ko dyan si, di ko alam kung si Rizal or Apolinario Mabini. Sino bang nilagay natin dyan? Medyo kulang sa templates yatang gamit dyan. No, I mean, no, but for me, this I think harkens back dun sa isang fundamental problem na sinasabi natin na pinag-usapan natin kahapon. And I think, si Tarantan ng Calvo, I think he has been doing a fantastic job. I think of using humor, using visuals to push for a progressive message. Kudos to him, more power to people like him. I really very much appreciate people like him. So salamat. Pinakami ako kahit medyo may pagka cheap shot nangyari dyan. Game naman tayo. Alam mo naman mga fuego, game tayo, no problem. No. But this kind of reminded me, not necessarily yung post ni TK, but it's the responses that I saw, the kind of the bitterness and the hatred and toxicity, which kind of reminded me of something important that we have to talk about, mga kameta. At ito yung, talaga, rain niya si Ma'am Leni dyan, ha. Ito yung, 2025 elections. Kahapon pinag-usapan natin yan. Napaka-importante yung bagay na yan because as early as now, mga kameta, we have to really look at what are the alignments, realignments, what is the momentum, what is the possible configuration ng upcoming elections, at sino ang magiging united opposition. Sasama ba si Tatay Digong dun sa kampo ng liberal opposition or progressive opposition? I doubt that. Although President Duterte suggests that he wants to be a fiscalizer. At least he wants his PDP Laban Party to be a fiscalizer. I don't know what's left of PDP Laban Party or yung mga supporters sa Tatay Digong kasi marami sa mga Davao-based, Mindanao-based politicians ay nagdi-defect na dun sa Lakas, no? Which is the party of essentially the ruling party led by the cousin of the president, Martin Romualdez. Very dominant position. Now, important yan, mga kameta, no? This is very important because as early as now, nakikita natin maraming ng mga reactions, no? I mean, for me, my first reaction was looking at this pseudo slate that is coming out is, wait lang, nasaan si Vico Soto, no? Yun ang unang reaction ko, no? And mga kameta, this is where i-connect natin dun sa mga cartoons and everything like that. This is where, mga kameta, I believe we have some problems because what we are seeing since last year is a very toxic, super alienating cancel culture that is coming out from a lot of people who have no business, right, really having any kind of moral or political posturing there after the horrible things they have done throughout the years, the self-righteousness, the alienating of the voters, no sense of self-awareness, no sense of mea culpa, nothing. Perfect sila. And this is the problem. A lot of these people have been also attacking Vico Soto since last year. Parang tinitry nila i-cancel si Vico Soto because Vico Soto did not join the camp of their preferred candidate, and because Vico Soto, of course, initially was with the party of Isko Moreno, and we saw how Isko Moreno, I mean, as I said, I criticized very much yung press conference ni Isko Moreno noon when he had a kind of a two-spirited and really problematic attacks on former Vice President, duly elected Vice President Leni Robredo. There were also concerns with him of not coming strong enough against Marcos Jr. There were concerns with him of, not backing Leni. There were concerns with him na supposedly hindi siya lumabas sa latest EDSA commemoration. I mean, and I see, binabash si Vico ngayon. Binabash siya. Tinitry nila na i-cancel si Vico. And this is where I think ito yung ugat ng problema. Itong mindset ng iba dyan, yung mga gatekeepers dyan, yung mga essentially trolls ng isang camp dyan, who are trying to make it all about themselves. And that's the interesting thing. Ang attack sa atin is parang, ikaw, inisip mo is all about, I mean, come on guys, half of the time I'm just messing around on Twitter and having fun, right? At hindi naman tayo perfecto. Siyempre, inaasar nyo ako. Di asaran tayo dito, di ba? And yun ang problema. Marami dyan, they don't even have sense of wit or sarcasm or anything like that. Anyways, yun ang medyo kulang sa politika natin, no? Yung mga commentaries, kulang ng yun, medyo acerbic, medyo, alam mo na, medyo British wit, no? Medyo gano'n. No. So this is the problem I've seen for the past year or so, at least very much in your face, na itong cancel culture kung saan tinitarget even people like Vico Soto, questioning whether he's progressive, questioning whether he's with the right side, constantly making him a trend. Alam natin nung last EDSA commemoration last month, pinatrend na naman si Vico, pinopost yung mga pinost niya dati, bakit dati ganyan siya kay Marcos, ngayon wala siyang sinasabi. And mga kameta, in-explain natin, Vico has his own logic and reason. It's not that I 100% I agree with him on everything like that. But, he has his own reason. As I said, pag LGU ka, you have certain limitations. And it's not like Vico Soto is not doing his own way of embodying the spirit of EDSA, of not pushing for progressive reform, of not doing his job. And maybe his strategies to focus first on getting things done on the ground, delivering the best for his people before siya mag-moral posturing. So unfortunately, you have a lot of people who are out there super toxic, kung ano sinasabi, etc. And for me, that's why, in vacuum, I have no problem. Like, thank you very much. I'm very proud of, ending up, supposedly it's me, di ba? Ending up dito sa camion ni paring ko ay, diba? Ito yung mga kami. At ito yung Magellan Junior issue, diba? Yung mga ganun. Diba? Kamukha pa natin. Parang si Mabini yan eh. Diba? Sino ba yan? Diba? Alam niya. Ito. No, so ito si parang TK. T Calbo, right? Naging Ilocano. No, I think he has been doing a fantastic job. In fairness to him, he has been doing a very, very good job. I'm sure it's a screenshot ng iba dyan, mamaya yung mga sinasabi natin dyan to make something out of it. No, I have nothing against it. And thank you for putting me in your art. Kaso sometimes sana naman, medyo hindi masyadong template. Medyo. Sana medyo mas kamukha natin. Siya nga, payat na payat siya eh. Diba? Pinayat na rin tayo. Diba? Tingnan mo naman. Hindi ko alam kung Mabini ang natin dyan or Rizal. Ayan na naman tayo. Ayoko magbardagula naman tayo. No, I have no problem with that. Diba? May pagka Rizal, Mabini-esque. Diba? No, but that's my point eh. I have nothing against humor. I have nothing against, cheap shots, etc. No problem. But let's be honest. We know what's going on here. I'm not necessarily on the part of Mr. TK, but on the part of some other people who try to make things out of it. Ganitong problem. Ganito nakikita ng problem, guys. There are people there who are trying to also cancel yours truly. Gusto nyo i-cancel yung kameta nyo. Because, at yun ang sinasabi natin mga kameta nung isang year pa lang mga kameta. Let's get over from this. Medyo mag-move on na tayo. Because neither I nor people like Vico and a lot of people out there, first of all, we don't believe that certain people have monopoly on moral politic or righteous or progressive politics. Number one. Number two, at yun yung context ng pinag-usapan namin ni parang Joseph Scalici kahapon. Intellectual courage sometimes, unfortunately, runs the risk of political, ending you up in political orphanage, right? Obviously, diba? We have been pointing out all the fake news and ka-unity, shenanigans and chutzpah throughout the years. So, inattack tayo yung mga yan. Throughout the years, until ngayon, pinoint out natin yung mga shenanigans ni Tatay Digo, yung mga shenanigans ni alam niyo na, diba? Alam niyo na, diba? Yung mga kakulangan, yung mga mali, etc. And so, that got a lot of people also riled up. And then now, we also have a situation, we're also being attacked from this other side because we pointed out some of yung mga kakulangan sa nangyari last year. Like for instance, parati ko sinasabi, where is the post-mortem for last year's election? To just say that you were just cheated out and all, okay, maybe we can discuss that. Show me the evidence. Sure, we can discuss that. As I said, vote buying is a big problem, etc. But my point, mga kameta, is do not make that as an excuse not to also confront some of the shortcomings in communications, in strategy, etc. last year. Because I fundamentally believe, mga kameta, based on the evidence, based on our analysis, mga kameta, including in peer-reviewed journals, is that, mga kameta, I think Leni deserved a better strategy. Leni deserved an organization and preparation that befitted her, because I think her potential was immense. I think if certain things were done properly, Leni could have won probably 20 million votes or 25 million votes, even under current conditions, right? Although, as I always said, it was really an uphill battle because my unit team nakalaban. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I dare to point out some of these things. I also try to be as constructive as possible. So even though I had many concerns, not only with the Google Trends kutspa, but also with some people, some of the mga charlatans dyan who were attacking our good friends, political scientist friends, expert friends dyan who were doing surveys, etc. There were some charlatans there who were saying very nasty things. And then after elections, not only did they lack any mea culpa, they were also attacking other friends, right? Who are actually world-class scholars, right? Teaching in world-class universities. These are people who have published books, award-winning books in their 20s, right? In early 30s. These are people of world-class and highly respected. Tapos, ito yung mga charlatans na yan, gaganin lang sila, di ba? Now, as I said, again, I try to be very constructive and all, but I realize ito yung problema. There are really some people out there, mga kameta, who are giving a bad name to the opposition, who are not confronting their shortcomings, who are alienating a lot of people with their self-righteousness, with their exclusionary politics, with their angas and yabang. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like your typical humble person, but honestly, true humility is being able to say to apologize once in a while. True humility is to go beyond your comfort zone, which is what I've been doing. Why am I vlogging, guys? I could have been just sticking to our mainstream job and my international. No, I'm vlogging. I'm reaching out, right? True humility is accepting that you have to evolve, you have to do new things, and it's all about compassion. One of the horrible things we see from a lot of these trolls and really rabid people is binabastos yung mga voters. Voter blaming. Well, in fact, any proper analysis will tell you that a lot of our voters go for tatays of this world and etc. and Italianos because they're desperate, because they didn't get the change that they were promised, because a lot of decisive reforms that were promised during EDSA 1, EDSA 2 were not implemented for a lot of reasons that I and Joseph Scalise discussed yesterday. There's no self-awareness, there's no recognition of mistake, there's no mea culpa. That's the coups. That's the lack of humility. Right? And my problem is, if that mindset is not fixed, that's gonna really put opposition into trouble heading into 2025. Because heading into 2025, mga kameta, the government, the administration will have a lot of advantages, resources, momentum. I suspect Marcos Jr. is going to remain, at least ratings will be quite decent and strong for quite some time. It is what it is, diba? Doesn't mean he's a great president or anything like that. No, that's not the issue here. So that's my point. This toxicity, cancel culture, self-righteousness, lack of self-awareness, this alienating everyone, attacking Vico Sotti, trying to cancel us, all of us who do not buy their version of reality. Well, in my case, based on proper scholarship and analysis, right? Sorry, you want to go mayabang, let's go, right? That's the thing, That's the thing, mga kameta. This is a serious problem. So, yan ang sinasabi ko, Ma'am Leni has huge potential. And I think she can top the race in Senate in 2025. I think she can even run for the presidency again. And if Tulfo runs and mas split yung base ng unit team, etc., it could be a very competitive race in 2028. A lot of interesting things could happen. At the same time, mga kameta, we really have to deal with this cheap shot culture, this pa-cancel culture, all of this patagilit style, all of this cowardice and charlatan stuff. We have to get rid of that. We have to do something about that. Otherwise, guys, kawawang opposition. Otherwise, yung potential ni Leni, potential ni Riza Contiveros, potential ng opposition to bring about progressive change is not going to be there. And as long as we're out there trying to cancel everyone else, trying to portray them as narcissistic, irrelevant, etc. I mean, for people with, trying to say tayong pa-relevant, excuse me, we don't need relevance, right? Excuse me, like our engagements are in tens of millions. And it's not even about engagements, mga kameta. It's about our scholarship. It's about, all of the things we're doing for our country, reaching out to the people, etc. Yun ang ginagawa natin. Yeah, so I really hope. And this goes also to great people like Tarantadong Calvo. I think he's a great Tarantadong Calvo. No, I think he's doing a great job, etc. I just hope, he doesn't allow himself to be used for this kind of cheap shot, toxic, whatever thing is going out there. I think he's a great guy, and I think he can make a great contribution to our political discourse using his talent, etc. Sana lang hindi template na medyo mukhang mabini Rizal next time. But anyway, don't worry, I'm already very proud to end up in his work of art and masterpiece. Now, no, but seriously, guys, going back to this, so now let's go to very first thing I was talking about is etong composition ng Senate slate that is coming out. So I asked about Vico Soto. Nag-respond si... Wala siya dyan eh. Si Tanyada. Si Erin yata. Si Erin nag-reply siya dun sa tweet ko. At Erin said something like, it looks like both Vico and Joy Bemolte will still like run for another term, third term. That's interesting if that's the case. In fact, I think they're doing a very good job, and it's good to have young progressive leaders. But at the same time, of course, if it's a question of age and eligibility, I think Vico 2025, he can get it going, right? And I think Vico also has great potential, not necessarily to become the president, but at least great potential to inject a new approach to progressive politics that goes beyond all of this, all this culture of self-righteousness and all of these toxic people out there, all of these people who make fun of grammar of Isko, who made fun of his background, who try to portray yours truly as, parelevant. All of these people, ito mga tao na gusto lang nila sila lang. Gusto lang nila sila lang. Kasi turf nila yon. So if you question anything about their doing, they're gonna swarm you and attack you, etc. But mga kameta, andito naman tayo eh. Andito tayo. Kahit ang dami nila, wala tayong problema. I dealt with all of those trolls throughout the 7 years, 8 years. No problem dealing with these people. But nakakalungkot talaga. Nakakalungkot talaga when we see this is happening. And to be honest, a part of me, parang si TK naman, sana hindi ka nagpapadala sa mga cheap shot, mga ganun yan. But nonetheless, I feel proud to end up there. Sana lang medyo level up yung yung templates. Okay. Now, going back to this. So, this is what's coming out. Bamakino might run again according to this. But Joy is also here, but I don't know. I think Erin said something like Joy could still run. I don't know. I have to double check, but I know that he was implying that Vico is going to run. Some raised concern while Recto is there, and then others are saying, wait lang, Robredo and the Soto there. Pacquiao makes sense in many ways, but some are asking, wait lang, ba't nandun si Binay? But well, andun rin yung father Binay in the last slate, diba? And then, of course, I'm glad that Nery Corminares is there because we also need more progressive faces. I don't know, hopefully someone like Calyodi or, Kawalden or someone like that, a progressive person will also be in the slate. And hopefully it will be a complete slate, to make sure na, ilan na ba yan? Right? Parang kulang pa ng isa? Oh, parang may space pa for one person. Something like that. Maybe Calyodi, maybe Walden, something like that. Maybe you can put it there to make it exciting. Or maybe Vico, right? Let's look at it. So, my sense is, mga kameta, despite of course we're still gonna follow what are the latest things, mga kameta, when it comes to yung sinasabi ng NAMFREL, yung command by the Supreme Court na to check yung issues with the source code and the logins, etc., with the voting transmissions. Sure, we'll continue this discussion, no problem. As I always said, the vote buying is really the serious problem in the Philippines. Upstream pa lang, ang laki ng problema. Dapat we focus on that and really go for that. But more than that, mga kameta, ngayon pa lang we have to prepare. And ngayon pa lang we have to create this mindset of really coalition-based politics. That's how Biden won. That's how Obama won. That's how a lot of progressive leaders, way more progressive than Obama and Biden, have won. That's how many people, were able to defy the odds in a very corruption-infested, trapo-infested system in Brazil, in Latin America, in Turkey. There's even a chance that Erdogan might lose in the elections in the coming weeks because the opposition is coming together. At least some of the surveys suggest the opposition has a good chance under the CHP candidate. I mean, that's the thing. We have to create that coalition-building mindset. At katulad ng sinasabi natin, mga kameta, one problem we have in the Philippines is we don't have runoff elections. So the tendency is that kanya-kanyang diskarte, all you need to do is just to get more votes than everyone else. And I think that did not encourage the culture of coalition building. But even without having a runoff elections, we have to, as early as now, create this culture, this mindset of working together. I may not have to 100% agree with you, and you may not have to 100% agree with me. But we have some core values in common, meaning we want a progressive Philippines. We want cleaner politics. We want to defend the West Philippine Sea. As long as these key principles, these core principles, we are together on that, then we should work together because this is how we should do politics. This is how we should push for our democracy. This is how we should defend our country. Yun ang sinasabi natin, mga kameta. So I hope we don't get too distracted with cheap shots and toxic nonsense and etc. and all of this duwag anonymous people, ang yabang yan, nagpapanom de plume pa sila, excuse me. Sila, you know what I'm saying, like yung mga katulad nila Rizal and all, nagnom de plume, but they also risk their lives, etc. So, and their body was there, and they were identified as people advocating for certain change. Tayo mga kameta, this is a verified account I'm using, a verified account dun sa Twitter. We always write and we argue under our own name as much as possible, 100%, right? So, we're fighting here. We risk our career. We got threats. We got attacked. Everything, and it's not just about me. I mean, what I face is nothing compared to a lot of people, including a lot of our colleagues in media, etc. A lot of people have been red tagged, etc. Sure. So what I'm saying is, right mindset. Right mindset. Wag tayo sana. Hopefully, we can get out of this downward spiral, like trying to cannibalize each other, etc. Biglang na-realize ko parang weird nangyari. May Barcelona and Madrid. Anyway, basta mga kameta, you get what I'm saying? Right, so in that sense, sana ma-level up natin. Hindi lang yung mga cartoon templates, i-level up din natin sana yung mindset, yung discussion, and more unity, etc. Now, let's discuss more about it. I look forward to your suggestions. Who do you think should be in the slate? Of course, you know, Leni will be more or less the chief candidate of the opposition should she decide to run. And I believe there's a lot of reason for her to run. I think she should run. I think she'll do very well. She has a very good chance of doing very well. And if she tops the race for the Senate, whoa, things are going to look very interesting in 2028 onwards, no? And as I said, Tulfo is also going to be in the mix. So it's not going to be easy for Sarah. I don't think this is a foregone conclusion for Sarah. Far from it. I think it could be a very competitive, interesting race. But it also depends what the opposition is going to do. It also depends what kind of mindset we have. It also depends if hayaan ba natin few toxic people, few duwag people, you know, charlatans, etc., to undermine our ability to come together based on core values. Again, for me, as far as I'm concerned, mga kameta, I just felt I had to point out certain things. Now, if I came off in a certain arrogant way, etc., then pasensya na. Mea culpa. Of course, tao lang tayo. And of course, the medium also limits us. You know, Twitter is Twitter, right? Vlogging, of course, brings out a certain personality, etc. But anyone who bothers to read our stuff, to listen to me, to really, really listen to me, right? To really listen to me. Hindi lang yung screenshot mo lang, ito lang, you know, just to be hater. No, to really listen to me, the nuanced discussion. We do 2-3 hours of podcast. I've written books of hundreds of pages, right? I've written thousands of articles, thousands of vlogs we have done, probably at least 1,000 vlog, right? If you really see what we're doing here, mga kameta, is that this is love for the country. We want a higher level of discussion. We want to go beyond this. So, pasensya na if the human in me is imperfect, but believe me, the reason why we keep on doing this, mga kameta, we talk about our politics, but the reason we're here and fighting it here with you together, the reason we're doing all of this is because mahal natin yung bansa natin. So we may not agree 100% on a lot of things, mga kameta. We may not. But that's not the point. Democracy is not about you 100% agreeing with me and me canceling you because you don't 100% agree with me. That's not democracy. That's authoritarian mindset. That's tyranny, right? That's tyranny. You know what's also tyranny? When people twist your words, twist my words, try to get the screenshot here, try to twist it here. Pathetic. And then you claim to fight disinformation. Hey, you're spreading fake news about people like me, etc. Just to what? To make yourself look good, etc. So yun lang sinasabi natin, mga kameta. Anyway, I'm still, in spite of everything, in spite of being bashed here and there and tak and all, but of course, marami naman nagmamahal sa atin. Despite all of that, mga kameta, I'm still cautiously optimistic that we can get things right. We just have to be courageous. We should just, you know, konting fuego, right? And you know, wag tayo magpapadala dun sa mga rabid ones, whether on the right, on the left, whatever. May horseshoe kasi yung phenomenon talaga nangyari. Alright? So yun. So tuloy ang laban. Go lang tayo, guys. And thank you very much for your support and everything. And of course, thank you very much kay Tarantadong Calvo for putting us in his masterpiece in art. Unless it's not me, but obviously that was me. But yun lang. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel very honored. I'll put that among my awards and accolades and great things. So thank you very much, mga kameta. Let's continue discussion. Medyo late din tayo nag-start. Of course, nag-gym tayo and all. But I knew, nakita ko kanina na si Christian Dior. Esguerra. Christian Esguerra. Alam ko kanina, 7 o'clock show or something like this. So I said, go ahead. I hope you guys support what he's doing. I think Christian Esguerra is doing a fantastic job. Gideon Lasco doing a fantastic job. Leloy Claudio doing a fantastic job. Jail Cornelius. There's so many good people out there, guys. Please follow them, support them, follow them on Twitter. They're really, really good people. They're the people who give me pride. They're people who make me proud to be Filipino. They're the ilustrados of our era. Ito yung mga follow nyo. Huwag yung mga charlatans. Huwag yung mga toxic people. Ito yung mga tao na nagmamahal sa ating bayan. Support them. And Joseph Scales, he loves the Philippines. You could really see that, right? And please watch yung, well, hindi pa natin na-post yung finals version, but you can watch yung backstage version na pinost natin dyan. So maraming salamat, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for staying with us. I really, really appreciate it. And at the same time, Ramadan Kareem to our brothers, Muslim brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. Also to lahat ng mga supporters natin from Mindanao, from Visayas, from Luzon, from mga kapsat dyan sa Ilocos region, sa Baguio. Represent, of course, yung mga OFW natin, mga kaibigan, sa gitnang silangan. Love na yun na may magkakonyag sa gitnang silangan. Yung mga ating mga kababayan sa Europe, sa Australia, down under, sa America. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I mean, grabe guys, yung tinitingnan natin yung podcast natin, no? YouTube natin, guys, wild, ha? Please follow yung YouTube natin. Grabe, oh. Interestingly, yung audience natin sa YouTube ay sobrang iba sa audience natin sa ibang platform. So, apparently our YouTube audience is like 65% female, right? Which is very different from our audience. Like, for instance, on, I think, in Instagram, it's something else. It's like 55% male. And then dito, I think, hati 50-50%. So, I wonder, like, what's going on? Or bakit, yeah, like, mas pa-cute ba ako dyan sa YouTube ko? Anyway, and then sa Spotify, of course, very interesting. Thank you. Please, guys, continue to support our Spotify. Wala naman tayong kinikita dyan. Ano lang yan. Libre lang ginagawa natin dyan. And may mga original stuff din tayo dyan. Please continue to support yung Spotify natin. Kasi guys, kung nasusupport yung Spotify natin, kung marami na ikinig sa atin, then mas madali makapag-imbita ng mga bigatin ng tao. Because they'll say, well, hindi naman pitsugin itong si Aidar at mga kameta na yan. Lalo tayong si seryosoin. And please also abangan, of course, you know, we're gonna have our own show, kind of more in the mainstream media. Also abangan yan, God willing. So support us. I really appreciate it. So ito, Richard Aidaran Podcast, please support it para tuloy-tuloy na yung discussion natin. Again, of course, medyo bigatin yung week natin. Ito rin isa pang reason eh. Kaya kanina umaga pa lang, I'm fighting for sanity, for making sure hindi ma-railroad yung Chacha issue na yan. You know, the other day, kausap natin si Carranza, Attorney Carranza, talking about ICC. Kausap po natin si, si Joseph Scales about Philippine left, progressive people, and then i-chip shot tayo ng mga ganito. Diba? Isn't it petty? Isn't it worse than petty? But anyway, tuloy-tuloy po tayo dito. Please also watch yung pinost natin with Ruben Carranza because that was a really, really wrenching and serious topic. Diniscuss natin how things went wrong for the Philippines, ano yung mga mali natin during transition from the Marcos dictatorship outwards, why we were not able to reform our judicial institution, yung ICC case, can we defend the rights of yung mga victims ng EJK, and the family and the loved ones. Lahat ng mga yan, diniscuss natin yan. So please continue to support us para we can have more guests, more people. And as I said, hopefully one day, when we have more resources, we can do in person, we can do in studio, independently without the mainstream media. We can also do that, mga kameta. So please continue to support us. I really, really appreciate. There's so many things to discuss. Bukas, balikan ko kayo. May mga classes. After classes, God willing, balikan ko kayo at pag-usapan natin yan. Alright? Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I know. There'll be people who will try to portray us as irrelevant, as self, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Alam niyo na. You know, we wouldn't do any of this thing if it's not for genuine passion. And if you're sincerely humble, you will try to reach out and not to be snob and think you're better than others. Alright? Maraming salamat, guys. Thank you very much. And see you soon, God willing. And Ramadan Kareem. God bless.